And that's how I look at it. What makes him get more respect than me? You my next door neighbor, you not tell him? You got yours from your family. I got mine from the ground up, from hard work and dedication.
Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest ever. He's a brilliant defensive fighter. His speed, his boxing savvy. He's just a savant. He's just something special, no question about it. But I gotta look at the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world.
Do it. Floyd's way is safe. Not in a punk, but it's like the safe way, like nothing ain't gonna go wrong. But that's how he fight. That's his characteristic.
Floyd Mayweather gets angry when Stephen A. Smith says that Terence Crawford can beat him and doesn't believe in his past. Stephen thinks that Sugar Ray Leonard was a much better boxer than Mayweather. He then says that Flo's best wins were at the lightweight level, but that he never held the upper weight classes. Smith's also said that the Canelo fight wasn't very good, which made Mayweather very angry, because he won't take that kind of criticism.
It's not just about your skill set. It's who you do it against.
Your level of competition. Is it possible that he's so far beyond his level of competition that he made it look easy?
Well, I think he did as a lightweight. When he went up to the welterweight division, not so much. You know what I'm saying? Now, if
taking out Canelo the way he took out.
Well, he just gave him a boxing lesson, but Canelo was 22 years old. See, I remember
That's
that.
an excuse, though.
Well,
I don't like this, like he's 22, he's too young.
I will tell you this. Well, you know, you do have to take that into consideration.
The guy had 100 fights.
Well, let me explain.
22.
You have to take that into consideration when boxing is the issue. Now, if he got knocked on his ass, that's different. But when he simply got schooled, when you swinging a punch and Floyd is tapping you on your shoulder saying, I'm behind you, that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? That's just a skill, like, you know,
But we could credit Floyd with that.
Of course, I am crediting. I'm saying he's a brilliant boxer. You know, Floyd knew how to move before you even threw the damn punch. You see what I'm saying? You gotta be a veteran to know how to overcome that. You can't put a novice into the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather. You understand? He's going to school you. What I'm saying to you is that if you wanna make an argument on Floyd Money Mayweather's half, which I'm not summarily dismissing, I would tell you it's this. Floyd Money Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand. He constantly broke.
There was a full investigation into the similarities between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. He said that as a fan, he would slightly favor Crawford in a made-up fight because of how well Crawford fought Canelo Alvarez, but that the comparison had to be fair. The way Crawford beat Canelo was amazing, and many people said it was even better than what Floyd had done. They did, however, remind people that Floyd had dominated Canelo in their fight, which happened when Canelo was still learning how to fight. He made it clear that ignoring Floyd's skills in favor of Crawford was wrong, because each player brought something special to the game. Real life for Bay is somewhere in the middle. Crawford did a great job beating Canelo. Mayweather's victory against him, on the other hand, was historic and shouldn't be forgotten.
That Bud goes about it a little bit better than Floyd in this sense. Floyd will when Floyd fought Canelo, he was standing right there. He wasn't running and all of that. He wasn't doing all of the stuff that they say, oh, a runner, Mayweather's a runner. He wasn't doing that versus Canelo. He was right there. And I can't even really remember Canelo catching him like that, like with nothing. With Bud, I could remember Canelo catching Bud a couple times, but Bud gave him the, all right, put your foot out. What's up? Boxing turn, boxing turn, boxing turn. And was really standing there and giving it to him with another type of energy. The energy is more so all right, what's up? You can't beat me. Floyd energy be bop, bop, I'm better than you. You see what I'm saying? They don't really be respecting that all the time. They'll acknowledge it yo, I ain't gonna lie, he hard to catch. But they be nah, you didn't beat me up. Bud go about his fights in a way where as though the Mexican fan base gotta be I ain't gonna lie, Canelo, he hollered at you. He came at you too. He didn't just be better than you. He was better, and then he was all right, I'm gonna come at you. And I think they really respect that. Shit, I respect it. I don't think it's not, I think the less you get hit, the better. I'm always gonna take it that way. So, you know what I'm saying? As a boxing fan, the kind of boxing fan that I am, I would have linked towards Floyd's performance, but Bud's performance was if I'm a casual fan, I'd rather watch the way Bud do it.
Buzianis, the trainer, talked very passionately about Terence Crawford's part in the sport. When people questioned Crawford's achievements, he said that Crawford had consistently shown that he was one of the best of his age. The NSA said that Crawford was always ready to take risks, no matter who he was up against, and that he never backed down from dangerous situations. Crawford is different from many of his friends because he thinks he does best when he is faced with danger. Crawford worked his way up to the top of boxing by regularly facing off against the best. The NSA said that people should stop trying to downplay Crawford's achievements and instead see that there have been few boxers in history that were as flexible, brave, and successful as his.
I think he could have got the stoppage. He'll tell you that if he had to sit down a little bit more. And what I tell you, Terence can fight and he can box. And he can fight. He'll fight this side. He take chances, man. You know what I mean? And that's how you be great, man. If he one of the greatest out there now, I think he's great. I think he's the best out there right now in that division. You know what I mean?
What's left?
For Terence?
Yeah.
If I was Terence, I would retire. That's what I would do. He did everything, man. He done everything, man. You know what I mean? Look how many titles he done won. All that stuff, you know what I mean? I think I'll go off one in the sunset, man. You know what I mean? You don't need no more money. You know what I mean?
Brian Bulick McIntyre, Crawford's experienced trainer, thinks that his client still has some big moments to come. Bulick says Crawford might fight 2 or 3 more times before he retires. He talked about Crawford's likely move up to 160 pounds and said that it would be about more than just titles. It would also be about solidifying a reputation that is already worthy of the Hall of Fame. It was made clear by Bulick that Crawford had already written his name in history by winning epic fights and not being beaten in many weight classes. The hope of winning championships in higher levels, on the other hand, gets both the team and its fans excited. He made it clear that Crawford is no longer looking for approval. Instead, he solidified his place as one of the all-time greats by seizing chances that only legendary fighters can.
The second time. They can't take it away from him, neither.
Does this one mean more to you than the other ones?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It gives us the opportunity as a team to go into the Hall of Fame. Instead of a fighter going in there, instead of a coach going in there, it gives us a better chance to go in there as a team.
Well, congrats on that. I know that means a lot to you and the team.
Definitely that.
You know, I asked Bud this after the fight 2 weeks ago. Would he consider this his signature win? He said, yeah, one of them. Do you think that was his signature win of his career?
Well, the last fight?
Yeah, the Canelo one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the underdog. Everybody thought that, you know, he was going to get beat.
What's up?
That he was going to get beat. It surprised me.
So what's next for Bud? What do you want to see him do?
I just want to see him, you know, spend time with his family because, you know, training for a fight, you be gone a long time. You're going away from your family. And it could take a toll on you after a while. So,
as his trainer, do you feel like you should just sell off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
you know what? He made it look so easy. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit, got 2-3 more in him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Tim Bradley had strong feelings about Terence Crawford's influence. He said that beginner fighters often have doubts, especially when others question their progress. Crawford, on the other hand, showed an amazing amount of resolve and determination. Even though he had a lot of bad press at the start of his career, Crawford consistently showed doubters they were wrong in the fight. Bradley said that Crawford set an example for the next generation by becoming a multiple-time undisputed winner in many divisions, which many people thought was impossible. Bradley thinks of Crawford as more than just a winner. He shows faith and courage, and he proves that hard work can get you through anything. Young fighters now see Crawford not only as a champion, but also as someone they can look up to and see how to never give up.
And as you have become, you're a true inspiration to the youth, man. Anybody that's troubled, any troubled kid out there, man, they can look at you and say, hey, man, I got a fighting chance to get myself out the situation. All I got to do is make that choice. That's what you did, Crawford. You made that choice, man. You made that choice to change, bro. You know, you saw it going down, man, years ago, man, in 2008, man, when that bullet came through that window, you knew you had to do something or you'll end up 6 feet under, bro. You know, so that courage that you had, man, and that will that you had and that mindset to change, man, and the gym, you know, grooming you and turning you into a man, because that's what boxing does. See, people don't understand, man, that boxing is more than just throwing punches. You know, boxing teaches you discipline. You know, it teaches you love for people, love for others, man. You know, working together. You know, you're there constantly every single day, man. You know, spending time there perfecting a craft, man. Perfecting yourself, understanding yourself, learning more about yourself each and every single day. You push it inside the gym. You know, boxing is more than just throwing punches, man. You know,
Floyd Mayweather's life was not just about boxing. Oladipo pointed out that Mayweather made up two characters on purpose, Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Mayweather. Both of them caught people's attention. Early in his career, Pretty Boy Floyd was a daring risk-taker who got knockouts that made the highlight reel. Later, Floyd Mayweather became famous as the best businessman in the world. He learned defensive boxing and made every fight a worldwide event. His success with pay-per-view and his skill to market himself took him beyond wrestling. The Oladipo praised Floyd's skills both inside and outside the ring. They said that he set an example for businessmen today that fighters try to follow. When Floyd merged technical skill with fun, he became more than just a fighter. His rise to fame came from being the main force behind the new commercial age of boxing.
I'm sorry. He's a genius. He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom. But sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking. I watch the whole fucking episodes and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument, oh, you should have fought that person then. And I get it. I get it. Right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. You know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm going to work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm going to work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fight, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right?
People are interested in Crawford's future after his amazing win over Canelo. Some insiders, like his staff, have told him that he should retire quickly to leave a lasting impact. People who support Crawford say that he is already great and doesn't need to prove anything else. Some boxers are not impressed. Tan kept putting down his success and saying he should give up before his reputation goes downhill. A lot of people disagree with this position because they think Crawford still has a lot to offer. Fans want to see him participate in bigger, more well-known events because he has been doing well lately. Although Crawford could retire, he will always be known as one of the best, and his achievements will be remembered even if he doesn't.
Like that Terence Crawford did what he did against Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford made himself the face of boxing, and he did it. He made it look easy. He made the Errol Spence fight look easy. That was supposed to be the toughest test of his career. I thought it was. The whole world thought it was. It was the easiest fight he had at welterweight. I thought, but I've been saying for years that he's going to easily beat Canelo Alvarez, and he did. But many people expected Canelo to knock him out. That wasn't the case. With that said, now people are trying to throw. He's 38. Tomorrow, Terence Crawford will be 38 years old. He's a 5-division champion. If he wants to stick around, like Terence Crawford stated, okay, Terence Crawford stated, if I do stick around, I'm not dropping down no further than 160 pounds. If he stays in boxing, I say he have 2 more fights. Fight Janibek, who's the unified champion. Hopefully Carlos Adames and Lara fight and unify the belts. 2 fights at 160, pad the stats, become a 6-division champion and a 4-division undisputed champion. Cool. Other than that, Terence Crawford needs to retire.
Trainer Robert Garcia says something about the fight between Mayweather and Crawford. He reminded his fans that even though Mayweather has the best record and most impressive feats, he has never been named the absolute champion. Garcia, like Crawford and Pacquiao, knew how important Crawford was to boxing history. When it came to straight comparisons, he still liked Mayweather better. He still clearly liked Mayweather more. Kay said that Mayweather's timing, defensive skills, and knowledge in the ring would be too much for even a skilled fighter like Crawford. Even a skilled fighter like Crawford would lose to Mayweather because of his defense, timing, and ring experience. Garcia said that Mayweather was a nightmare to fight because he could eliminate opponents. Garcia admires Crawford's achievements, but he thinks Mayweather is better than almost everyone, even the current champions, because he knows more about the basics and how to fight.
He doesn't need any more.
With his accomplishments, the only man to ever do 3 weight divisions, undisputed. Is he now a part of the greatest of all time conversation? And not of this era, but of all time.
Definitely is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. You know, there's still greats out there. There's still, you know, his era or last era, you know, with the Mayweather, with the Pacquiao. I think he's, you know, already accomplished more than Pacquiao was 8 division, so we have to, we could argue there because Pacquiao was, fuck, 8 division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5 division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more.
To add to the conversation, Greg Hackett said that Floyd's effort was similar to those of Canelo and Crawford. He said that Floyd was already a full-fledged fighter with unmatched skill and calmness when they met. Hackett says that Crawford's style is more aggressive than flexible, but it's not as good as Flo's, who did an amazing job over 12 rounds. He said that Mayweather's defensive skills and control of the ring are the best in the history of boxing. Hackett admires Crawford's achievements, but he thinks Mayweather is the best. He is amazed by how powerful Crawford is, but Flo's smart move against Canelo was almost perfect. Brown beat Canelo, and Stephen A. Smith said it was one of the most entertaining performances in recent memory. He said Crawford was the smaller man up against a bigger and stronger opponent, but he made the fight look like it was only one-sided. Crawford was praised by Smith for not only being brilliant, but also giving fans a great experience. According to him, boxing needs people like Crawford who are good at the sport and fun to watch. According to him, Crawford's performance shows that he is not only a great winner, but also a great entertainer who can move the sport forward by making the ring exciting.
But the biggest props of the night goes to Terence Crawford, who did not disappoint. He was supposed to be the smaller man. He was supposed to be the weaker man. He was supposed to be the man that was going to spend the entire night on his bicycle, running for his damn life because Saul Canelo Alvarez was coming his way. That is not what happened. What happened instead, ladies and gentlemen, was a masterclass in boxing by Terence Crawford. Now, to me, the fight, some people were saying it was severely lopsided and stuff like that. I'm not going for that. I'm not feeling that at all. It wasn't like that at all, okay?
Dan Raphael, a veteran reporter, looks at Crawford's career over a long period of time. He thought Crawford did not need to fight anymore to be remembered in boxing history. His past shows what he has done. Crawford has an unbeatable record across many divisions, having beaten top-level opponents and earning a name for dominance. Raphael thinks that when fighters get to this level, they should not try to prove themselves, but instead focus on keeping their legacy alive. Crawford thinks that keeping up fights that aren't necessary could hurt what he has already achieved. He thinks Crawford should be remembered as one of the best things that ever happened in the sport. His long list of achievements in history is more than enough to make people think of him as a legend, whether he keeps trying or gives up now.
But he stood in the pocket, like he's not moving anywhere from him. He's using his head moving, he's not being stupid, but he's not necessarily moving away from Canelo. Like you said, he's walking the, quote unquote, bigger man down and forcing the action rather than going off, reacting to Canelo's attacks. So I think it was such an impressive display. But it sort of begs the question now, when you've a 3-time undisputed champion, I know money's important, financials, we always talk about that. His legacy is intact regardless. We'll start with Terence. What does a Terence Crawford do now? Like, what's the next thing that he does? Because you look around and go, is the only way that he really gets that maybe that ultimate challenge if he goes up again? And do you say, you know, what do you do?
I don't quite. Yeah, I mean, you know, he was asked those questions at the press conference. He made two things clear. One, he's not going back to 154, and I say that because some people suggested about possibly pursuing a fight with Ennis, who has his debut in the weight class coming up.
Yeah.
That's probably unlikely. He's not going to go back down in weight. And I mean, no disrespect to Ennis, but Ennis is a guy that's known within the diehards of boxing. He's not in any way known beyond the boundaries of the hardcore boxing fans. So I don't know if that makes sense for a lot of different reasons for him. Not to say I wouldn't, as a boxing fan, enjoy watching the fight. So, but I don't think he's going back to 154. He was asked about like a Benavides at 175, and he acknowledged like that guy's really big. I mean, that's maybe a bridge too far. He already went up to 2 weight classes to fight Canelo at 68. So it feels to me like he could either stay at 168 and defend this championship and look to the same types of names that were being thrown around as the types of guys that would have been in the mix for Canelo had he won the fight.
That's all for this video today. Watch out. Until the next time.